Oh, what a mess. This is Neil Schneider from Meant to Be Seen. Welcome back to my messy basement. We've got a wonderful show for you today. Today we've got an interview with none other than Oleksii Burkun. He's the head of the cross-platform department for Program ACE. Program ACE specializes in augmented reality as well as virtual reality content development. Really interesting conversation. He talks about all kinds of technologies, on the market, how to differentiate between them, even the terminologies that are so easy to confuse. He was able to define them and why. So we're going to get into that very shortly. Now, just a reminder for everyone, it's coming up really fast. Immersed 2016. You can learn more at getimmersed.com. We're really proud of this. This is a hybrid event, but half of it is for professionals, people actively working in the industry, content makers, technology makers, the investment community, media, everyone working in the field. Okay, this is the event for them. It's in Toronto. It's very rare to have an event like this in Toronto. Of course, it is happening October 16th, 17th, 18th. At the Ontario Science Centre, which is one of Canada's largest public education venues. It's a really big deal. The other side of the event is really about bringing immersive technology to the general public, to consumers. These are, the people that our market is very much dependent on. They just haven't had enough exposure. So we're very proud that, we're planning for as much as 8,000 to 9,000 people in attendance over the course of 3 days. And we're going to be showcasing all kinds of technology. We've made arrangements for upwards of 20 room scale HTC Vive experiences. A colleague of mine, Dashwood 3D, or Tim Dashwood, for the first time ever, he's going to be showcasing a collaborative environment where up to 6 people could be in the same virtual reality space, physically walking the same space, but also in virtual reality with mobile devices, with positional tracking. And we're going to do some fun stuff where, we'll have teams of 3, 2 teams of 3 building, castles. Who could build the castle fastest? We're really excited. Okay. This is really innovative technology. And this is the first time it's going to be showcased without a non-disclosure agreement attached. So really big stuff. But also one of the big trends this year with Immersed is that of course everyone's excited about video games. Of course everyone's excited about 360, broadcasting and 360 cinema. We're also very excited about making the world a better place with immersive technologies. And, some of the things that are going to be showcased is, for example, PETA, which is one of the big animal rights, it is the biggest, animal rights organization that I could think of, honestly. And they're going to be talking about, empathizing with animals. And they're going to be showing their iChicken experience, which, of course, has had a lot of positive press and other things as well. And again, it's about making the world a better place. Florio is another company. They're going to be showcasing, technology for, virtual reality used as a therapy for, people working with autism or dealing with autism. We're going to see glasses-free 3D technology that's being used by the likes of NASA and Boeing. Stereoscopic 3D, one of the benefits is it adds situational awareness, which is very helpful for pilots. So we're going to see some of that as well. There's going to be, please understand, this exhibition hall is 20,000 square feet plus, and, it's filled. This is going to be amazing. We're really proud that we're working with the Ontario Science Centre on this. People are going to come down. They're going to try technologies out. They're going to learn a great deal. And we're going to have public education as well, which we're going to reveal on the getimmersed.com website shortly. We've also added additional speakers. I mentioned PETA. Well, James Rogers, he's Director of Innovation for PETA. He's going to be one of our new keynotes that was announced. And so, of course, he's going to be talking about their projects in PETA and their ambitions and so on. And another one of our top speakers, Justin Cooney. He's Director of Developer Relations for OSVR. I don't think I'm mistaken when I say this, but I don't think OSVR has been to Toronto before. So this is a big deal for us, for everyone attending, for that matter. But again, go to getimmersed.com. You'll see a full list of the speakers. There's still actually more coming. Really, really exciting stuff. And by the way, media's coming as well. So, AJ Fry, Space Channel, he's going to be one of our panel moderators. There's others coming down as well. Camera crews are going to be there. So if you have stuff to show, come down, because, we want people seeing your stuff. Okay, that's really what matters. I mean, we enjoy talking to each other, we enjoy learning from each other, but and at the end of the day, consumers need to see it too. They need to understand what all the excitement is about, so that ultimately our market is very successful. And of course, want to thank our sponsors, Advanced Micro Devices, Immersion Varia, Immervision. Of course, they're going to be showing their stuff at Immerse 2016. We've got a slew of media partners that have all been very helpful publicizing this event. Thank you so much. Speakers, sponsors, advocates. Look, the fact is, the success of Immerse 2016 is a success for everyone. We want people learning, experiencing, and appreciating technologies like virtual reality, augmented reality, and immersive technology. And oh yes, I want to give a special mention to Immersion Arcade. They're coming up from Normal, Illinois, and they're working with us, to help make the HTC Vive kits run on a really big scale. And of course, the hardware providers and so on. So really, there's a lot of people to thank. Too many here. Maybe I'll thank more at the show. But it's coming up October 16th, 17th, 18th, Ontario Science Centre. Go to getimmerse.com, and everyone's going to have a great time and achieve a great deal. We're really proud of this. So that's all I have to say. We'll be back with more right after this. Welcome back to my basement. To my immediate left is Oleksii Burkun. He is the head of the cross-platform department at Program ACE. Welcome to the program, Oleksii.
Hello.
All right. So, this is a long-distance call. Am I correct that you're based in the Ukraine?
Yeah, that's correct.
So, what happened, the way we connected was Program ACE. They were familiar with our website, MTBS, and they were reaching out, and I thought, I looked at your site and I thought, hey, this is really cool stuff that you're doing augmented reality, and I think you're doing some virtual reality, and I thought, this is someone that I'd like to welcome to the basement. So welcome to the basement. Just in short form, can you tell us, what does Program ACE do?
Well, basically, Program ACE is a service company, and we actually do a very big range of development. We do web development, client development, we do modeling, art, and of course, we have a great sales team which helps us to find projects. All right.
So, what caught my eye was the work you're doing with augmented reality, and I know you do other stuff as well. Can you talk about some of the things that you're doing with AR? I mean, I've seen some video samples, and we're actually going to show it, during the program, so people can see some of your work. But can you give us some examples?
Yeah, sure. Basically, we use augmented reality technology to make trainings, simulations, and just regular applitions for gaming, for educational purposes and stuff like that. We do iOS Android apps, and it is very convenient for people. Everybody has a mobile phone, and they can trigger augmented reality right in front of them, anywhere they are.
So there's all kinds of ways to achieve augmented reality. I mean, what I saw in the videos was using smartphones and tablets. Can you elaborate a little more as to how you make the technology work? Is it limited to that? Are you looking at other solutions as well?
Yeah, well, basically, I start describing our current technology. Program ACE actually has a great team, one of the biggest in Europe, of Unity developers, and Unity is our main tool, which helps us to create cross-platform mobile application. And we use applications. We use SDK, which is called Vuforia. It is well-known and popular today, but this augmented reality technology is not the one technology which you can find on the market. There are such other frameworks called, for example, QDAN SDK, Metaya, and others. All those frameworks, they have very similar, but sometimes different and critically different functions. Such as, for example, Vuforia is very easy to use. It is greatly supported on Unity as well. But today, one of the main trends in augmented reality is markerless technology. And actually, Vuforia does not provide this function. So we, as a developer, have to switch to other frameworks, such as Qden, for example.
Okay, so for those unfamiliar, I'm just going by memory here. Vuforia, that's something that was founded by Qualcomm, I take it, and then I think that portion was acquired by another company. But some of the people watching this may not be familiar with all the different SDKs and so on. So, is Vuforia like a software developer's kit? Like what are these? Why are these frameworks so important?
Well, it is important because it contains all the complicated logic about tracking the image target, about parsing the image from the camera, and about basically positioning 3D content over the streamed live camera image. Basically, it does all the complicated stuff, and what's left to developer is just to apply the content, use necessary 3D models, and just do the most interesting stuff. All the hard thing is made by Vuforia.
Okay. Now, you mentioned in passing about marker-based and markerless technology. So for those unfamiliar, I mean, the concept of augmented reality is we're enhancing the world around us. I mean, we see things like a table or a book, and then through the magic of augmented reality, we see additions to that, like things popping out of the book, or all kinds of interesting things, to our wildest imaginations. What is marker-based and markerless technology? I mean, how does that fit into all this?
Yeah, well, basically it is quite simple. Marker technology, marker-based augmented reality is process of triggering augmented reality from the marker. Well, basically, it means that you need to have a special image, a texture. It can be a page of a book, it can be a photo of something, whatever, it doesn't matter. But this image has to contain some unique elements in it. For example, it can be just a white piece of paper, for example. It has to be a picture with different unique shapes, different colors, something which catches the eye. And once your camera reaches this image, the special image, Vuforia understands that, hey, this is an image target. Now I can trigger virtual reality starting from this, let's say, object. And then you can see 3D content appearing over it. Different animations, just the models or whatever. This is all about, in general, about marker scanning. What is popular today is that you don't always have this marker with you. Once again, everybody knows about Pokemon Go, right? You heard about this game. When you see a Pokemon, you see this animal appears in the space and it looks really natural. It is really there, but it's not. And actually, this is where markerless technology comes. You don't need a special image to trigger augmented reality. You just, your SDK, it tracks, analyzes the image from the camera, and it understands, okay, here is the object, and when the user rotates the camera, it understands that the object stays here or there, and it shows the content accordingly in the right place. So basically, markerless means you don't need a marker to trigger augmented reality, which is a new step ahead in the augmented reality technology in general.
it's so easy to take for granted, you know, like you put your smartphone there and the imagery pops up, but clearly there's a lot of, you know, technology that makes it appear in just the right place with just the right characteristics in the geography or the image map. So you're obviously doing a lot of work with augmented reality. Can you talk about some of the exciting things you've done with the technology so far?
Yeah, sure. Just recently we have released an application called Archie. It is an app kind of similar to Talking Tom. Well, it doesn't have that much functionality, but what's cool about it, it is augmented reality application. Is kind of, you need a marker, and once you point your camera of the mobile phone to that marker, you can see a special rabbit appearing over this image. And you can make some different actions with that rabbit. You can kind of touch him. He will do some animations. You can ask him to do something special, and he talks and makes funny animations. Kind of fun app. Helps you to spend some time, show how augmented reality might be triggered and how it works.
All right. And what type of applications for augmented reality? I mean, you mentioned Pokemon, which of course was very, very popular, very creative use of the technology. Are there applications that, you know, just seem to be taking off with augmented reality? Things that are like obvious use cases for AR that, you know, we didn't have access to before?
Well, in fact, you can use augmented reality mostly in any field. In general, we do use augmented reality, once again, as I said, for example, for trainings, for simulations. It is very cool when you have a real object in front of you, and with Vuforia, you can trigger augmented reality from it. Once we've heard that Vuforia has the feature of scanning 3D objects. We are very, very excited with it because starting from that time, you're not obliged to use a texture as an image target. You can scan the whole object. It can be a car, it can be, well, general anything, and you can scan it and you can make a tutorial, you can make a training, a simulation where people in real time they can learn something, and it's really cool.
All right. You know, one application I saw, the name escapes me, I apologize, but like a training manual. I mean, you have, let's say you need to fix something, and, you know, let's face it, you could have the best manual in the world, but I know for myself, I always mess it up anyway. But it's so cool that if you have, let's say, augmented reality glasses or a smartphone or something where you can kind of get those step-by-step instructions, and it literally tells you what you need to do, like visually, so you know, like do it like this, you know, that's very helpful. So there's all kinds of applications that we're seeing pop up that are very practical for this stuff. I'm sure you're getting all kinds of, you know, clients doing that kind of thing. How about virtual reality? Are you doing any work in the VR world as well?
Yeah, sure. We do have experience with virtual reality. It was about a couple years ago when we started with Oculus Rift. By that time, it was development kit 1. Right now, we bought probably a year ago development kit 2, and we made several different apps. Once again, some of them are just like a tour in 3D world, some kind of location. It can be a 3D store, it can be an island or some fantasy world or something like that. Then appeared Google Cardboard, and we've started porting our apps to Cardboard SDK, and we've made the apps on Android and iOS using Cardboard. And now we've recently bought HTC Vive, which is very powerful technology, and it has much more immersive experience of being in virtual world. And we successfully are making the apps supporting HTC Vive.
All right. Now, I have a tough question for you. Very difficult question. going to put you on the spot here. Earlier, we talked that, you do three things. You do augmented reality, you do virtual reality, and you do mixed reality. Right. How would you describe what mixed reality is? How would you differentiate that from augmented reality, if at all?
All right, well, I'll try to answer this question. It's kind of tricky. Well, in fact, mixed reality is a term introduced by Microsoft with respect to Microsoft HoloLens. Mixed reality is reality you experience with holographic images. Basically, the HoloLens is a technology which introduces mixed reality. For those who have ever seen the demos or even tried the HoloLens device, you can see the holographic images right in your real environment. And what's cool about HoloLens is that it tracks the environment around you, and it understands the shapes of the objects. It tracks the gestures of your hands. It understands a lot of words. It tracks and analyzes your voice. And I think it is another important step in virtual augmented reality technology called by mixed reality right now.
So do you think it's like this, like, for myself personally, I mean, augmented reality and mixed reality, it almost seems like the same thing. I mean, it's like you're augmenting the world around you, you've got the real world, and you're adding these digital elements, and you could interact with them. And then you got this mixed reality category. In your opinion, is mixed really that far different from augmented reality, or is it more of a Microsoft branding thing to differentiate their product line?
Well, in fact, I think it is really different. Let me bring some examples of what's different. If you compare augmented reality with mixed reality, the only thing which is common is that both of them are able to scan environment. But augmented reality is quite simple as artificial intelligence. It only knows that particular images or particular 3D objects are recognizable. And that's it. It doesn't know what's your orientation in the space. It doesn't track the environment. It doesn't know what's the mesh, the shape of the environment. It doesn't track your voice as HoloLens do. And in Microsoft HoloLens, you can get all the described above together. It tracks your hands gestures. It analyzes and scans the environment. And of course, it introduces a very powerful and high performance immersive experience of this augmented reality called mixed reality. Well, you see, it is the difference is very, very thin, but once you try it, you can understand what's the difference.
Yeah, like I've tried the HoloLens out before. Actually, I got to try it out at FMX a few months ago. It really is. It really is something else. I mean, if you can get by, the one challenge I found with that line is the field of view, which obviously they need to, work on. But other than that, I appreciate there's all kinds of stuff going on. It's very impressive stuff. It's just, how it is, right? I mean, we're early years now, and in like 3 to 5 years, it's going to be, commonplace. And then the question is it going to be VR AR, or is it going to be VR mixed reality? I would almost compare it to, a car. I mean, you got your traditional car, and then you got your racing car. Are they both cars? Like, do we have to, you know what I mean by that? So, anyway, sorry, go ahead. What?
And then you get electrical car.
Yeah. So, you know what? There are classifications. So, maybe, you're raising a very valid point is, with the augmented reality as we've come to see in smartphones and tablets, I mean, there's different scales, right? So maybe mixed reality is a higher scale of the augmented world.
Definitely is.
Okay, good good stuff. So what are you doing in the mixed reality field?
Well, right now we are starting investigating on what it takes to develop an app. We are starting with a very simple ones like something similar to Anatomy app, which is right now present in market, where you have a model and you can rotate it, you can scale it, you can walk around, you can call some additional information about it. And then we will probably port some of our existing applications to Microsoft HoloLens. And of course, we will start to develop new training, new simulations, and hopefully new games and apps for this technology. Actually, one significant advantage of Microsoft HoloLens I haven't mentioned before is that it has the possibility to share the information between other HoloLens users. For example, when you are viewing some scene, you can connect other users wearing HoloLens, as they can see what you see. And this allows you to share this valuable information between other people and let them see what you see and interact in real time. And this is another significant possibility of the technology in comparing with augmented reality and, of course, virtual reality.
Okay, good stuff. So you really amazing stuff. I'm really glad we connected. So how could people learn more about Program Ace?
Well, first of all, we have a website. And of course, you can anytime contact us via Skype, email, or phone number. We'll be glad to give you much more information about us, what we do, and how we can cooperate.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. It was nice to meet you.
Pleasure is ours. So we'll be back with more right after this. Thank you for visiting me in my messy basement. So, something to know about me is I really enjoy my toys, okay? So one of the toys I play with in addition to virtual reality is I have a remote control helicopter, and I've crashed it more often than I'd like to admit. In fact, I've probably repaired it more than I've flown it, but nonetheless. So knowing that I'm really into toys, for my birthday, my wife got me Master Yoda, and Master Yoda is so unbelievably cool because he's got animatronics, and he reacts to your voice, and he reacts to your movements, and really neat. And he's so neat. I may actually make him my co-host. So let's see if we can get him working for you here. Let's see here. Here we go. Okay.
Wake me, you did. The way of the lightsaber. I will teach you.
Now, I feel kind of badly. I couldn't make it out to Oculus Connect this year. Master Yoda.
Yes.
May I ask you a question? May I ask you a question?
Yes, my Padawan. A question you may ask.
Will Oculus Connect be really good this year?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to have to watch the news. All right. Good stuff. So this is Neil Schneider from Meant to Be Seen. You want to be a guest on the program, by all means, send an email to neilsmessybasement@mtbs3d.com. We will be back with more next week.